Hey Mike, how come you haven't shown us any new custom action figures that you've been making? There's a big reason for that. I'm artistically constipated. That's why. I started a bunch of figures. I'm pretty damn close finishing two. I just can't. Every figure I did, I became more of a perfectionist, and I just can't quite finish this one. Here's my Indiana Jones figure I've been working on for well over a year. I don't like this arm. I've resculpted it like 6-7 times. Every time I look, it's like I haven't mastered folds in fabric yet. Sort of did on his back. The arm, not so much. And then also my Green Lantern Kenner style figure. Pretty good. Haven't nailed the head yet. Gotta go back to the batting cages on that. So I want to do something a little less serious, a little less perfectionist, work with new kinds of clay. I watched a whole bunch of videos on people sculpting with polymer clay, doing amazingly overly detailed looking stuff. It was crazy. I was like, I wanted to try that, even though I know I can't do that. So I've got some Fimo. I went to work, see what happens. Kind of wanted to start off, I think, what characters can I do? I just want to knock one out quick. Thinking Batman. Cut to a picture. That's not Batman. That's Wolverine. So I started my Wolverine. I wasn't trying to go for absolute perfection, even though I was kind of hoping I would be better at it than I started. But instead of looking like it came from like McFarlane Toys, I was trying to go for like an old school PVC applause figure, even though my Wolverine's a little bit bigger. I used blue Fimo clay, and guess what? He broke. His arms broke. We'd be doing more than one draft on it, so I kind of fixed him up with my epoxy sculpt, redid his arms. It was actually probably the best biceps I ever did if you look at them real close. And I got it good enough that I ain't taking it too seriously, and he's ready to be painted. Even though epoxy sculpt, most of my sculpting is done with sanding and X-Acto knives and carving, stuff like that to get all my details. I like it better than this, even though polymer clay is probably quicker to use. You just bake them, take them out of the oven, do another draft, put it back in the oven, take a draft. I don't got to wait all day for my epoxy sculpt to dry out. But it was kind of a neat experiment. I'm gonna try. I have to try more. I bought like big stack of polymer clay, and I don't want to let it all go to waste. So I will make another figure after this, and it will probably come out better. But let's see what he looks like after I paint him. This stuff has got almost like a sort of a hard rubber feel to it, and it's not very easy to sand. That's why when I was screwed up on the details and I went back to use my epoxy sculpt. All the how-to videos I watch on people just like sculpting something, they never show you when they bake. They just like sculpt it, looks awesome. Or maybe they don't bake in between, which I find impossible. Because I know this thing was nothing but fingerprints and me screwing up, and I turn him over and I squish his nose, stuff like that. They did none of that, so I got more to learn to work with this. So let's stop this video right here. We'll cut to later on, and hopefully I didn't screw him up painting, but hopefully the details will pop. I know I didn't do his hand so great. I still haven't figured out how I'm going to do the claws, but I like the pose he's in. And I just want to finish something. And I want to scratch that itch for doing something Wolverine, and I think I did that. Boom. Right, here's my custom action figure collection that I made, and here is the latest edition. He is finished. This is my Wolverine. Came out way better than I thought it was going to look. I was only trying to, hit a bloop single and bat in a run. I think I hit a triple and got, 3 RBIs on this guy. Look at that. Came out pretty good. I put the paint on super thick on them, cover up a lot of my flaws, and I chipped them twice while painting them. Would have been done a lot quicker. This took me about a week of painting. I saw a little bubble and I scratched it off, caused a chip. Then I dropped him and broke his arm, and I had to glue the arm back on, and I had to fix that by repainting the entire arm because I just couldn't, I painted over the crack. It didn't match, so I had to redo the whole arm. And I put Tamiya Flat on there, and it came out gave us this cool rubbery look on him. Gave him the classic old school 80s style costume. And I did not make claws. I was thinking maybe I'll make claws. I had an idea how to make claws, but artistically, I just didn't feel like making his claws. I think he fits in cool with all my other custom figures. This was just a dollar store figure. It was a Venom, and I just put a sculpt out over top of him. Same with Punisher, but I, leveled up quite a bit because for the life of me, I couldn't do the Venom symbol, but I figured out how to do the Punisher symbol. Then leveled up again, straight up, sculpted Superstar Billy Graham, LJN bendy style from scratch. Then we leveled up again. I think I did the Smurf. I think the Smurf looks dead on like a vintage 80s Smurf figure. Dead on. Then leveled up again. I made an articulated figure. Ooh. Made videos for all these. This is Swamp Thing. Look at that. Arms and legs move. Watch the video of how I made that happen. Then I made a copy of Batman figure. And this is a Mego comic action hero figure. I like the prototype look. I was gonna paint them. No, I want to leave it like that. But I was trying to make other figures like I showed earlier. I need to go back to the batting cages a little bit. Work on my swing. Try not to, I was a little too hard on myself. I couldn't finish those other figures. I didn't feel like I had the skills yet to complete them. So this is a pretty good shot back in the batting cage. Look at that bicep. That's a perfect bicep. That was so good, made the other side. I thought this was the good side, and then I went back and resculpted that. That's the better side. Now they don't even match. Doesn't matter. This was just practice. Love the colors. It really pops. Makes it pop. So, get another good close-up of them. That's pretty good. For what I was going for. I didn't even know what I was going for. I just wanted to do something. I wanted to do something. I wanted to do it quick. I didn't want to spend, 6 months on it like I did this guy and an entire fall season on him. And I forgot how long he took. I think that was like a year of just, coming back to it. This is an old, I think this is made by Applause. Late 80s, early 90s, Captain America figure. The sculpt's kind of crude. This is kind of what I was trying to emulate. Although my Wolverine's a little bit bigger. I think I nailed it. Look at the colors, they match together so good. I bet if I used a whole shelf full of these figures, you wouldn't even know this is a fake or a custom that I made from scratch. Crude looking action figures like this is what actually inspires me to sculpt stuff. It's like, I think I can do that. And I think I did do that. Most people, when I show like these figures of what I'm doing, they look at them like, oh, all right, yeah, it's kind of good. But they don't realize this is the actual style I'm actually trying to emulate. And there's a lot of study to look at this stuff. And, this perspective is pretty wrong because look at it. His arm would be like, all the way down to his shins or something if that was straightened out. That's the weird kind of details I'm looking at and I'm trying to emulate. I just kind of like the crudeness of it. To me, that's very artistically stimulating. And did it pretty good because his elbows aren't that good. I kind of made up the anatomy as I was going along too. There we go. I got more customs coming. I got 2 I'm trying to finish right now. that I've leveled up even higher. Better sculpting, better articulation, stuff like that. So like, share, subscribe. I'll eventually post those. Thank you.